about, 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 about. This is where we miss Gaurav. Yeah, you have to mute. Here? Either mute there or there. They're both muted here. I think so. Now it is better. Yeah. Because that you stream that I start, it was on. Okay. Okay. You can check if there's a. Yeah, people online can get me.
Yeah, you're audible.
Is the screen visible?
No, it's blank for some reason. I can see it in the video that is being shared, but the PPT is not
Okay.
available.
Just try again. Is it better now?
Still blank of the screen on this side. And share, start showing it. When you share, it's going to give the preview.
Right here, you see. Pretty good. Yeah, now it's showing up. Okay, Steve. Thank you for all the help. What do we remember from the last session? Or last few sessions, if you want. What sticks with you? What brings you back to the class? I know the prasadam is amazing. Please say something other than that. One liner. We'll just take one liners in the room. Patrick.
Yeah, I'm Viraj. And one line I would say, I remember most of it from the first sessions. The soul remember the body is just outer part of what soul needs and
Mhm.
has. It's soul is always happy. It just is in a state of what to say.
Okay.
Like a temporary state when it's sad or something because it's part of it makes it feel like it is sad, but it's actually happy. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Who else wants to go?
Shall we? Yeah, so three-way protection and one reward as the shut command. So
Mhm.
that was uh, getting the information from the utility source. And that's what we have to follow.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Keep going. Keep going.
And we also learn like from the examples of this world, the God does really exist or not. And we were talking about all the rules that we have in the world, right? A seed is growing into tree.
Mhm.
Who is the creator of that? Correct. So we take the multiple examples of the this world manifestation and that prove that yes, God does exist. So that's another critical piece that we talked about. Then we also talked about the Fibonacci series, numbers, of things. And I'm also looking for the more and more knowledge. That's what brings me here.
Okay. Awesome. Now, who has not spoken? Because I'm not watching who's not. Anybody else wants to go? Yes, better. You want to say?
I believe it's something from the last session about invoice sentences. So like we shouldn't expect that invoice sentences are complete.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Sophie.
My name is Victor Palas, which I started by um, the, but depth command. So direct perception is imperfect because we have one of them is the imperfect senses. And there are like
the microphone close to you.
oh, that's all right. And then we have so many other defects that we can't always trust the human perception directly, what we infer from our senses and such. That's why we go to other sources of getting knowledge, like
So three ways of knowing, and because we as a human beings we are limited,
we are limited.
we have to
we are
depend on outer
imperfect.
knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Did everyone speak or want to speak? Yes.
I remember from the last session was on visualizing teams and how we perceive a difference in opinions of it. So when it was a picture of an old lady, I think it was young and old at the same time. We were not able to. So the way we perceive things matters a lot, and it's the way we think and look at it. So yeah, that's something I remember from these answers.
Okay, so we are stuck in a paradigm and we say
Yeah.
my way or highway, but reality is we both could be right at the same time.
Correct.
Awesome. We're just recapping. Any one-liner you want to remember from the past? That kind of brings you back to the class.
Yeah, I think.
On the last class, I think the main thing was the different types of learning. Like
Yeah, three types of learning. Yeah,
And
awesome. How about you?
Parampara, like basically the learning is passed down in parampara. So I think that is a better way of learning than I think perceiving our kind of like our senses kind of
That limited.
yeah are limited. So that's why I think parampara.
Very. Now, the good news is we're expanding our horizons in terms of how we learn. We are not diminishing how we have learned so far, because all the progress we have made so far is by actually learning and experiencing and watching. So it's useful. It's not complete. It's not final. So what we're saying is sometimes there are things beyond our imagination. If we want to learn about that, we have to depend on something that is higher than us. And that could be the knowledge coming generation by generation. And that knowledge, if it is perfect knowledge, then it can transform our life. Now, if I put a devil's hat, how do I know certain knowledge is perfect or not? Right? It's possible that I'm misleading you on a wrong path. That is also possible. And in the society, there are examples of people misleading people. Yes. So how do we know? So, for example, you are joining a company and your friend works over there. What do you say? Hey, how is it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? Or people who study in India, for example, first time we took a flight coming to USA, we had to do our analysis of is this the right place to go? Right? Have you seen the Goat Life movie on Netflix? Some of you have. It's a strong man from South India, wants to come and work in Dubai, comes up to the point of airport. From there, he gets kind of misled into basically it's like a slavery. He's stuck with some goat herder in the desert, and there is no life after that. So we do our research before we leave our home. We go to a new place. We go for vacations. We do our validation. So like that, if say for example this laptop is connected, the electricity, it is going to transform, do some work, right? It will show something. If I take it out and these sockets, electric sockets, I can buy them for $5. I ship one over here and I put the laptop in it. Will it work? Right? So any inner transformation in your life will come if you are in touch with the real spirituality. Otherwise, it's just another type of entertainment where people will go and they'll say Jai, Jai, Jai. And then when they come back, I have my friends from college on our WhatsApp group. One day you will see their photos with family, full tilak, attending some pilgrimage in India. The next weekend you will see the whole family raising a toast with beer or alcohol and drinking the alcohol. So it's like
it has not transformed the life. It has not given up on any of the habits or addictions, and hence it is not really, it's not touching where it is supposed to. And that is where what we expect is, if the spiritual is real, it should bring us inner transformation of becoming a better human being, more happy, more content, right? There is this example of in Mumbai, one of the temples, a lot of brahmacharis, 100, 200 brahmacharis, they found a chappal chor. And the chappal chor used to come and steal chappals, and he was very expert. After a long time, they found him. So they said, okay, now we'll show you the third degree effect of why are you stealing chappals in our temple. And somebody said, hey, you are a spiritualist, you have given up everything, you want to touch with God. That the one guy was more aggressive. So the other guy say, you should have seen him before he joined the temple. Means you will see that person has faults, but became better. So the idea is continuous improvement. So even when you come to temple, suddenly you will not find that everybody is like a perfect spiritualist. Everybody is in their own stages. Think of it like a good temple, think of like ISKCON temple is like a hospital where we are being treated for a disease. And that disease is called as, I really believe I am this body. And we're being treated, say, no, 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 I am soul. Now, every patient has different conditionings. Even doctors fall sick. Like your teachers can also fall sick and sometimes get into the trap of, yes, I am this body. But together, we are trying to recover from the idea that I am this body. And we want to get to the point of I am actually soul. Then what happens? Our duties, our responsibilities, our expectations, they realign to being the soul, which is our true identity. And that is the spiritual progress. Is it easy? And the answer is maybe, maybe not. If we take it very seriously, it is very easy. If we try to do it on the side, it's a bumpy ride. But in the company, we have better chance. By being together, we have better chance. Just like whether you want to play some sports, whether you want to follow some hobby, being in the company of others who are also trying to be in that helps you. Like that, being in the company, attending the classes regularly is the best way to move forward. Yes? Okay, so we'll get started. Oh, sorry. This is the syllabus. Real problems of life. Now the session gets a little more serious. Okay. So far we are talking about who am I, not this body. Okay. Then said, is there a higher power? Maybe yes. Are our scriptures real? Yes, our scriptures are real. But now we're getting down to the reality of life. So buckle up. The ride is starting now. So what are the real problems of life? Can somebody call out one problem of life? Just like that. Now, if you have attended this series before, please hold back. Why? Because that is, you got some cheats already. So that will be cheating. So those who have not been through this class, yes, please join. What are your names?
Rajat.
And
Manoj.
Manoj, yeah, please come. So we are on our fourth session and we'll share the recordings of the previous ones. But because every topic is also unique by itself, if you ask some questions which are covered in the past, we'll send you the recordings. If you ask some questions which are coming up in the next sessions, we'll request you to wait until then. It's okay. Very nice. Thank you. So give me one problem of life that you really think is a real problem of life. So we'll start with Winton. One, only one. Okay, got it.
Foundation, but I mean, part of the problem.
Okay, so you are not facing any dire problem. It's good news. Okay, good. So what do you think? What is a real problem of life?
I don't know if this counts for me like poor health or sickness.
Okay.
If you're very sick, that's
Okay. So health issues are a real problem of life. Please give a big hand. The smartest college kid I have seen coming to this class. That's awesome. Okay, what are other problems of life? Because Bhagavad Gita says there are 4 problems of life. And if we don't catch all 4 problems, the lunch doesn't begin. We have to nail those problems. We have only limited time. She already knows.
I feel like materialistic and comfort. What
Comfort.
we are looking for.
We're looking for materialistic comfort, and that is a problem in life. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Come on.
I can.
I want one from each one of you.
So this is my personal, I feel like, even though we know we can't have any control about the future and what will be the future, but we still worry about the future. That's, I feel like, the biggest problem of the life.
Okay.
So that's my personal thought.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So keep going. You sir.
I said materialistic and
Materialistic comfort. You better. Any problems in life?
Any problems, but one problem that I'm thinking of is when, in the part of when, an army was attacking Arjuna, because that would do anything to the army, the Krishna came there and said to them that like, please attack back or like they can kill you or something like that. So like some people are just gonna do non-violence because like if they do non-violence, then like they will get hurt.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Please give her a big hand. Ataji, one
The problems. Sorry.
Attachment.
attachment. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's what I think.
Very nice. Very nice. Ma'am, remember your name again. Apurva ji. Personal growth is a real problem in life. Okay, but that's a goal, yes. Okay, thank you, Apurva ji.
I think emotions and happiness, like everyone goes through different, phases of life, and always being positive. We should
Okay,
forward.
nice.
I think addiction or something that will be the line.
Closer to you, that's. Okay, keep up.
Addiction things like anything not supposed to be like alcohol or anything, but addiction to anything that's harmful to you.
Okay,
And getting
so
rid of-
any addiction can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, I think in general, lack of financial,
Poverty.
that's a problem. Like I think that can fix a lot of other problems if you have money. So not having money is a problem.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think health and kind of money.
Health and money.
Yeah.
So health and wealth are against. Yes, guys at the back. One problem of life, that is a real problem of life.
Not able to letting things go.
Okay.
So, like knowing that fact, still having sort of deep attachment with the problem, which is actually just a different.
Okay.
And like example by sort of events before that situation in life.
Okay, awesome. How about you, sir?
I think I'm struggling with
There is no problem in life, you say.
finding and knowing what's the purpose of my life.
What is the purpose of my
I
life?
don't, that's what I struggle with, like, I don't know what should be my main purpose. And the others are there are like several,
Right.
lack of affection, love, maybe. Yeah,
Lack of real love, yes.
lack of real love and,
Means superficial relationships.
right. And then just personal development, maybe, meaning I'm not, what do I expect of myself? I'm not able to.
Got it. So these are amazing answers. Now let's look at what Bhagavad Gita is saying. Ready? See, we are talking about various things. But what is the real definition of a real problem is common to all. Nobody can avoid, although nobody wants them. This is the real definition. That. So now by that definition, if you say poverty is a problem, well, some people don't face poverty, right? Some people never face the poverty problem. So it should not be one person's problem is another person's benefit. Like my toothache is my problem, but for dentist it is a good idea, right? Or my umbrella is broken in the rain, but the person who fixes the umbrella says this is very good. Or a car mechanic will say, Lord, let there not be too many accidents, or people should not suffer. But at least for my business to run, some cars has to go through downtime. I'm sitting on the highway to fix the cars or tire pressure. So everybody, one person's problem is another person's solution. We're not talking about that. We're talking about problems which are common to all. Nobody wants it and nobody can avoid it. So those are the problems we are looking at. Right? Any of the problems we discussed stands out as that? Only what should it be? Shaurya called out the problem. Health. That's awesome. That fits into this definition. Everybody has to go through a health issue once in lifetime. Nobody can say I'm healthy forever, right? You agree? So first problem is birth. Why? Because the process of birth itself, imagine somebody gives us an offer. I'll put you in a gunny bag where through a pipe, food will be put into your body and you have to be there for 9 months. And you're helpless in terms of Bahubali is released, you cannot go to theaters. Right? Good movies coming, you cannot watch it. Whatever mother eats, spicy, non-spicy, you have to deal with that. When the mother goes through uh, any anxiety, the baby also feels the anxiety. There are worms in the womb of the mother, and those worms can actually bite the baby. Um, one example happened when I was growing up in Mumbai. In my society, there was one auntie. She was pregnant. The next news we get is the baby came out dead, and they had to somehow save the mother. What really happened? Those umbilical cord, right, got wound up around the baby, and the baby was choking or something. Some complication happened. The doctor said, "Okay, mother or baby?" They said, "Okay, mother. We want to save the mother." Baby was let go. So the process of birth, even the actual process of birth is also painful. Have you seen a baby come out and like, ha ha? No, the baby has to cry. Baby cries. Now, what if the baby does not cry? The baby comes out but doesn't start crying. What will the doctor do? They take the baby, hold it upside down, thapa thap, starts beating the baby. Why? Baby has to cry. Now, why the baby has to cry? And then after such a pain, and even if you look at really the newborn babies, they really don't look cute, right? They're like some alien type of thing. And the only person who thinks they're beautiful is the mom. So she really went through the pain to bring out the baby. The mother always says, "My baby is so cute and so beautiful," and others are like, "Yeah, sure, it's beautiful. Maybe tomorrow." So this baby, the process itself is birth, is pain, but it doesn't end over there. If you are in a social situation like genocides, famine, war, who are the most impacted people? It's the babies. There is nobody to watch for them. Social unrest. Parents are getting picked up by law agencies. What happens to the babies? We see that. So birth itself is a challenge. First problem. Everybody agrees, or somebody had a very cool birth, saying that everything was so perfect. I never felt any problem. So birth itself, we do not remember, but it is painful. We know that. The next thing we know is old age. Now, we may not be facing it today, but look around. Um, it's extremely painful. Why? The first thing is we become redundant in human life. Like in social life, we become redundant. It's like nobody really wants us. We're that old. Our kids have moved to America, and then our grandkids have moved to Europe, and maybe they'll call us some once in a while and say, "How are you? How are you?" But we want actually everyday company. And a lot of old people are like, there is nobody around me. Everybody thinks I'm now extra, right? I'm there or not there, it doesn't matter. And as we become old, our eyes, our ears, they don't function the way it's supposed to. People even struggle to cut their nail because they can't see. Hand is not in control, hand is shivering, and the vision is not there, hand control is not there. But if you do it wrong, you are going to bleed yourself. You can't even cut your own nails, which right now it is cool thing, right? Any moment, it's just a 30-second activity. But that 30-second activity is not 30-second activity in the old age. And memory, there are tablets given by doctor. You just don't know whether 5 minutes back you ate it or not. Like, did you take your tablets or not? Nobody knows. Now one may say, I can keep an assistant, I have money. But those assistants, if they are good by nature, they will treat you nicely. If not, that can be another harassment. You know. So unless your own family members are watching the servant also, the servants are not necessarily going to treat you nicely. So nobody can avoid, if we live long enough, nobody can avoid the deterioration of the body, the senses, the capabilities that we have. Today we may remember a lot of things. Later on, it's like there comes a time when people can't recognize their own children. Like, so who are you? Like the children, like this, that. Majority. So memory can fail. So old age is a real problem. And if you don't trust me, visit any old age homes. Try to give some volunteer service over there. This is sure, yeah, good job. Yesterday I got a call from Temple, and they said, we have in Swedish ICU, there is one person leaving his body. Can you go and offer some prayers? So I took one more devotee and we went over there. Now I have never seen anybody actually leave their body. Like I've seen live or gone, not the actual living part. So I went over there. This person is like literally breathing his last breaths. So we did the prayers and all that, and the family sitting over there. We offered prayers. We explained a little bit of spirituality. We gave some Bhagwan Ka photo. So whatever we could, we do, and we prayed for the person, saying that whatever. But the person is really matter of time, like today or tomorrow, we have to pull the rope because it's not going anywhere. It is stage 4 cancer and all that. So disease is a real problem, and being healthy and not surrounded by problems, it is very hard to believe that this is a problem. But we went through a pandemic. We know this is a problem. I had my relative in ICU in Mumbai. I traveled there for 18 days. I was in the ICU waiting room. And that's a big hospital where every half an hour the alarm would go off and one stretcher would come out. I saw so many stretchers passing by. I said, okay, disease is a real problem. And the next thing is death. What happens? One fine day we have to leave this world. But now today, say if I go to Europe and I lose my phone, it's a trauma. Why? The phone has so many things. What does it have? It has my credit cards, it has my driving license, it has my passport information, lot of good things, and all the details of where I'm staying and everything. Even immediate family members' phone numbers nowadays we don't remember. They are stored in the phone only. So if I lose this phone, I can't even call immediate ones. So just losing a phone, which is a replaceable item, is a trauma. Imagine that somebody comes and says that, okay, no more, you don't have access to your bank, your house, your family, wealth, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever. You can't access your social media. That is extremely painful because we worked towards those things in life, all our life. We built our fan following, we built our wealth, we built everything. And somebody says, Kachak, you don't have access to anything anymore. Not only that, we do not know what's next. Like, we didn't study Bhagavad Gita. We do not know how afterlife looks like. We are in the trauma of what's next. So, death is described as like 42,000 scorpions coming out of nowhere and biting you at the same time. Now, I don't see much reflection over here. Raise your hand if you have gone through a scorpion bite. Scorpion bite is like taking a burning charcoal and putting it on your hand and keeping it for maybe half a day, one day. Now multiply it 42,000 times. That is the pain the death means. And these are the real problems of life as per Bhagavad Gita. I didn't make it up. Why? They're common to all. Everybody has to take birth, everybody has to die, everybody has to fall sick, everybody has to get old. And as if it's not enough, we go through this again and again and again as a soul, as a spirit soul, Sat Chit Ananda, living forever, right? Chit, knowledgeable, conscious, and Ananda. Soul by definition is happy. And we are stuck in a body where again and again we go through this four repetitive stress. Are we in a good situation at this point in time? Somebody thinks that we are thinking of something else as a problem, right? But if we change our perspective to Bhagavad Gita, these are the four problems of life. And Bhagavad Gita 13, 8 to 12. Sometimes you have to suspect whether this Gauranga Chaturdas or Ganesh is saying is real or not. So we put the references. You can always take a photo or something, take a note, go to Bhagavad Gita, open your 13th chapter, look at this and say, what is it saying really? Right? These are the real problems of life. Nine months, same place. It's very painful. Can you imagine passing the stool in the same place and eating also in the same place? It's like one place. And what is the worst part of being in the mother's womb? No social media. No entertainment, nothing. By the way, Srimad Bhagavatam, as I called out, stage by stage, he says how the infant in the mother's womb progresses, when they get the hearing ability, what are they thinking, what are the stages of development, it calls out. But before the invention of radiology, doctors didn't know what happens inside. Either it is a good news or bad news. Arnold. It's different, right?
Most people spend their lives wrapped up in rushing to and fro. As time flows quickly by, days, months, and years rush by in the blink of an eye. Yet for some reason, people try to ignore this fact. It is as if they think they will never grow old. Yet the days of youth that they so fondly imagine will never end are really very short. Almost everyone realizes that he will grow old one day. Yet young people always feel that those days are very far off. They refuse to accept that they will one day be old, weak, and helpless. The two young people in this picture are good-looking, with clean and perfect skins and shining teeth. But there is another important detail. These pictures were taken in 1955. When this picture was taken, these two were most probably not giving any thought to the fact that they would one day grow old. Yet some 50 years or more have now gone by, and nothing remains of the youth and beauty in the picture. Time destroys everything. That is a law of the world.
So that's the real problem of life. Old age, we cannot say it's not a problem. When the hour of death approaches, then by chance a certain disease will raise its head. Means it is pre-planned. What is supposed to happen is going to happen. The organs grow weak, trouble starts showing their powers as if all of a sudden millions of scorpions have struck the person. In that disease condition, the dying person's eyes bulge due to the presence of an air from within, and one's glands become congested with mucus. One has difficulty in breathing, and there is a rattling sound within one's throat. Thus, one dies most pathetically. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.30. And I was in the ICU yesterday watching this happen live. Okay? It's a very difficult situation. We all go through it. We can only think about, I don't want to be in this situation again. Right? The kind of troubles I'm going through in this life, you should say, this is the last life. And we want to end all these problems. Only as human beings, we can decide like that. If I have my Labrador or nice pet dog, the pet dog cannot decide that, oh, this is going to be my last life, because the dog doesn't have that faculty or the way to understand life that we can understand. We can talk about life. Dogs can only talk about food, fighting. Yes. Again, Srimad Bhagavatam, if you want to look it up, it's 3:30:16. As if this is not enough, right? As if this is not enough. There are three types of troubles in life. What are the three types? The first is Adhyatmika, due to our own body and mind. Say, for example, there is a kitty party happening, and one person doesn't go, others are talking bad about that person. Then that Mataji feels bad that they're all talking about me. As a result, in kitty party, the attendance is always 100%. Because nobody wants to be talked about. It's like, I'll be personally present over there. Why? Mind. Mental issues, people talking about people. Second is Adhibhautika Klesha. So first is mind and body. So there are hundreds and hundreds of types of mental conditions and physical conditions, medical conditions that we are aware of when you visit a doctor over here, right? They give you a long form if it is a new doctor. Do you have this problem? Do you have this problem? Do you have this? I mean, 90% of the names I don't even recognize. Like, all I can say is no. But then again, I thank God that I don't have all those 90% conditions or even 99%. We don't have it. So we can only be thankful. I don't have this. 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 Then mental condition also, they say, what? Have you ever spent even 2 weeks in your life where you felt like not doing anything? I mean, if you ask me my whole life, I'm been like, I don't want to do anything, right? So why 2 weeks? That is a sign of depression, that you don't feel like doing anything. They're trying to recognize early symptoms so that they can help. But in the name of helping, if you look at it, if you go to the psychiatrist, their appointment is God knows 8 months away, shortage of numbers. And the psychiatrist is the community where there are maximum number of suicides. So why? Because they're downloading the negative energy from everyone. Now they have to go to another psychiatrist to download their negative energy. And that energy needs to be healed, transformed into positive energy. That they are not trained on. At the most, they can give some medication to keep it in control. But mind and body issues are real. And then the misery is due to other living entities. What does that mean? The other entities who give us our trouble, what are the famous relationships? Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi type serials. Have you seen that? You watch that serial, next time you do something, switch off the volume. Then you will see those TV soap operas, their graphics, how they video record, how they try to bring out the emotions. Then you add sound, it becomes exponentially powerful. And in every household, everybody's glued to those serials, taking their lessons on, Abhi, what's my next move, So everybody's getting trained on how to fight better within the family only. So that is mental other mother-in-law, father-in-law, whatever, right? Another dimension of trouble is called as boss. If you're in office, you're going through an appraisal, you did not get the appraisal type, or even if you feel that my boss is not fair, one goes through enormous unhappiness just having a boss who is not seen as a fair boss. You agree? Or you think, no, my boss is unfair, but I'm cool. No, we want fairness, right? But then when we become boss, are we fair? That's another question we have to ask. So it's not just that. Living entities means anything. Many invading armies came to India, were defeated by mosquitoes. Because the malaria was such a big problem that they had to go back. Malaria cannot handle. So even a mosquito can kill us. That is somebody else, another living entity. So it doesn't have to be a really big problem. Small problem is enough to kill us. So somebody else can be snake, it can be terrorist, it can be thief, it can be anyone. How many security cameras are sold in the US every year? That means we, as human beings, we don't trust other human beings also. If we were, why we have locks on the doors? Why have security cameras? 300 million Americans have got those 500 million guns. Why do we need guns if we all can trust each other and live like a good one global family? We don't need so many weapons. Go next level. Look at the budgets countries spend on the defense. Right? Now, we are very, sometimes we see news coming from countries which are even struggling with education and cleanliness and basic facilities of life. Oh, we are going to spend $50 billion buying new arms and weaponry. I mean, if all countries can spend all their defense budget on school education, good value education, maybe Bhagavad Gita education, and feeding prasadam nicely to everyone. Everybody is now well fed. Everybody is basically educated for doing their job. We won't need to buy so many weapons in the first place. So do you see the humanity? If you look at it as a humanity, we are spending the money incorrectly on wrong problems. That is because other living entities are giving us trouble. The villages will fight. Within the family, the siblings are fighting on ancestral property. The towns are fighting for sharing of the resources. States are fighting, and then the countries are fighting. That is not enough. Countries create gangs, alliances, and they fight. That is World War I, World War II. So this ability to trouble each other is innate. Sometimes you see country heads, 80-year-old, but they're not even as mature as 5-year-olds. So that is the humanity we're dealing with. Why? We are in Kali Yuga, which I'll explain on the timeline side. I'll explain you time-wise where we are. So misery is due to other living entities. And if you manage well, oh, I'll do yoga, I'll eat well, I don't have any mental issues, I don't have any physical issues, congratulations. You solved the first problem or got it under control. Adi Bhautika Klesha, I'm a billionaire, I control my surrounding around me, nobody can trouble me. I can call the president, I can invoke an army, I can create a war. I am very powerful. Okay. So other people cannot trouble you. Congratulations. Third type, which is what? Natural disasters. Can one be free from that? Say, for example, I might be a billionaire going somewhere and a rock comes from the space, meteors, they come and hit you. Job done, right? You cannot do anything if some astral bodies come and hit Earth and you happen to be at the right place at the right time. There is no assurance that money or power can save us. Adhidevika means higher natural disasters. Okay. So Adhyatmika Klesha, problems are increasing, they are not decreasing. Adi Bhautika, other people troubling me, that's also increasing. It is not decreasing. Yes. With all the technology in the world, all the education, all the United Nations, more nations are created every year. They're splitting, they're not uniting. Adi Bhautika, no matter what technology you have, and no matter what economy you have, all it takes is one natural disaster, everything is wiped off. Yes. So again, The beauty is scriptures are calling it out. Bhagavad Gita is calling it out. Srimad Bhagavatam is calling it out. So do you see the pattern now? That it is not an accident. It is not a happenstance that we are getting in trouble. Trouble seems to be all around. Yes? Because if it happened by chance, then that's a coincidence. But if it is by design, then that's a problem. Being part of any storm or situation like that, real natural disaster. From Washington, California to Washington, and there was a nice big snowstorm going on to let just moving. And we had a lot of corrugated boxes. From the moment, there were those brown boxes there. And we had a real fire place. But there was no good in the market. We burned the brown boxes for 7 days, just to survive. Imagine at home we may fight. This photo frame should be on this wall or this wall. When the earthquake comes, neither there is wall nor there is photo frame. Everything is gone. So for the soul, which is Sat Chit Ananda, indestructible, cannot be destroyed by wind or air or fire or water or weapon, has to go through this. So what are the temporary solutions? The science is trying to offer solutions, isn't it? For everything, we're trying a solution. But our solution makes things better or worse. So this is, what is his name? Anybody know? Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, when he was young and he was a good fighter, he was the world champion. So when he was interviewed, he said, I hover like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. I'm the greatest. Later on, he couldn't even lift his hand, right? You can see that situation. He was interviewed again. Are you still the greatest? And that time he said, yes, I'm still the greatest. But I'm the greatest fool. I had powers given by God for some time that I thought are mine. That's me. No, these are the powers given by God. So whether we have health, wealth, beauty, fame, anything, that is a power given by God for some time. We have two options. Not use it or use it for the betterment of the humanity, betterment for in God's service. We can do a better use of our wealth, or we can keep it, and if we keep it, it stinks and it doesn't give you any happiness anymore. Right? So, I mean, science is progressing, I take it. Has it solved all the 4 problems? Maybe not. Have people stop dying? By the way, there is research happening with these new tech billionaires. They're trying to cheat death. saying that no, we don't want to die, we don't want to become old, right, Vittal? So they're doing serious research and they think they gonna do something about it, right? The good or bad news is scriptures, because they are God given, and if Bhagavad Gita says this is not possible, these are 4 problems of life, no matter how many $1 billion you put into that problem, death will be there, disease will be there, old age will be there. We cannot do anything about that. You can manipulate a little bit, but you can't solve the problem. And can you imagine? There is no death. So people who were born like 5,000 years ago are also here. 4,000 years also here. Can you see the situation? So human solutions, if they succeed, are more dangerous actually. Was it Walt Disney? Scientists came and said, here's some dollars. We are working on a project to cheat death. And probably, he gave some $5 million. Go, please cheat death because I have so much of money. I want to live longer and forever. And he was almost dying. They came back and said that we're almost there. But what we'll do, we'll freeze your body cryogenically, like very deep temperatures. When the research is complete, we'll bring you back to life. I already given you the money. I am going to die anyways. Cannot do anything. Okay. He left. His family members gave another $5 million to the scientist. Get lost. We don't want him coming back to life again, because if he comes back to life, what will the first thing to do? All the wealth that we have received, he will take it back. So the scientist made $10 million doing nothing. That is a scientist. So understand that there is lots of cheating happening in the name of science also. When they say, I'm going to solve this problem and that problem. Like you'll see big cancer research hospitals. But if you really tell them, okay, this one Ayurvedic pill, if you eat, your cancer will go away. Will those scientists actually take that tablet and publish it around the world and say that, hey, please stop putting these billions of dollars, which are my salary package, my car, my house, my lab, my job. Let it all go away. This one particular pill is going to solve all cancer problems. Will they be happy? They'll bury the pill first, saying, this pill will actually take me out of the job. I'm out of market. Let me bury this. So it may look like they are doing a lot of effort to solve the problems. Go to any cancer research organization's website or something and see whether they are talking about anything preventive. How to be healthy, how to do yoga, how to be in the good lifestyle. They will only talk about chemotherapy, this chemical, that chemical, side effects, pain medication. But they'll not talk about any, actually, out of all the universities in the USA, no medical university will talk about preventive science, which only Ayurveda talks about, the herbal science talks about, natural science talks about, that you can just prevent a lot of problems in life. Rather than getting into the problem and solving, just prevent it. So as a result of our human life, the way we are living, right? Cities are not livable. There are places full of polluted air. We're eating plastic. Our bodies are slowly becoming more and more plastic. Why? Because plastic is everywhere. It's in the land, it's in the ocean, it's in the ocean life that comes back as a food. It's everywhere. Can scientists create life? Finally, even a chicken is more advanced compared to a scientist, because a chicken can create a new chicken. It can lay the egg, new chicken comes out. All the scientists in the world, All the McDonald's in the world can go back to the agriculture, get the wheat, get things, and make something and sell it. But can somebody in the factory make original food, which is like wheat, rice? That is not possible. So we depend on God's engineering in spite of all the advanced engineering that we have. That is why we have so much of difficulty sending life in the space. When we are sending the space shuttles, when we have to sustain life over there, it is such an advanced science. But if you look at Earth, it is a very God's natural science that we all are living nicely. Can you imagine scientists being able to send 7 billion people to the space? Do we have the resources or know-how? No. But God's arrangement is this Earth is rolling around in the space and it has the ability to sustain all the life very easily. And one type of, say, we give out oxygen, we take oxygen, right, and give out carbon dioxide. What do plants do? They recycle it back. They take the carbon dioxide, they give the oxygen back. Hydrogen cycle, nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle. We have seen it in our science in the school. What a perfect factory that God has created where only sunshine comes from outside. Everything is cycled within. If you take human beings off the planet will be very happy. Only one species of life, human beings. If you take them out, nahi chahiye. All other animals will live happily, right? So we are optionals, really speaking. And we are the nuisance. We are the troublemakers. Why? Because we are not living the way life is supposed to be. So science will give temporary problems, but so temporary solutions, but those solutions are not real. I'm quite striking. You go to Puget Sound, get a nice fish out of the water, and what do you tell the fish? I will give you job in NVIDIA. You'll have nice 401k stocks. I'll pay you in Bitcoins, right? You offer it. I'll give you the most beautiful wife in town. Everything. You promise everything. The fish is flapping. What the fish is saying? Please let me go back to. Say it loudly. Water. The fish is saying, let me go back to the water. Now, a fish in the water, does it need Bitcoins? Does it need a job in NVIDIA? No. Fish is happy in the water just by being in the water. A soul, an Atma, without needing anything, Sat Chit Ananda, is naturally happy, especially if the soul is not in the body, like stuck in the body, but it is in the spiritual world. It is naturally happy. It does not need anything on the top of that. We are naturally happy where we come from. We are out of water. It's like a fish out of water. The soul in the material life, spiritual spark in a material life is like in an unnatural place. Have you been to a game that you don't follow just because of your friends you went and you have no connection to that game? And how bored you'll be. Or you don't drink alcohol and all your friends gather together, room full, and they're drinking alcohol. You're out of place, right? Or girls get married into the in-laws place. What is the initial reaction? It's like, yeah, I'm not here. I don't belong here. Although there is so much of effort made to accommodate, we feel out of place. You take a small dust particle, goes into the eye, it's like out of place. You feel irritated. So we don't belong here. We belong in the spiritual world. We being here is unnatural, temporary. There must be a problem that is being solved by that design. There must be a problem that is being solved. We need to look at that. That is the purpose of life. Purpose of life is to understand how to really become happy. And that's why we need to find the happiness in a correct way. Right now, we're trying to fill life with iPhones and gadgets and perfumes. And after all of that, we are not happy. We get all that, and we're still not happy. Are billionaires happy? No. Are the most powerful people in the world happy? No. So happiness must be somewhere else. Yes? So there is this little story that a person is traveling, gets into the hands of some island Adivasis, and they make him the king. They say, what is the process? This is where is the last king? They said, after 1 year, our king gets sent to a desolate island where there is nothing. But for 1 year, you are our king. He said, Acha. Now, as a king, I have full power. Yeah, I have full power. The king starts sending all the supplies to the island where he'll be sent at the end of the 1 year. Acha villa banao. There is a farming, there is nice food supply. So what did the king do? Anyway, I need to go to that location. I'll prepare for it. Like that, if a soul has to go to the next life, maybe we can plan for a better life. We just plan ahead. We live in such a way that we're taking care of current happiness. We should also take care of future happiness. Yes. So there is a wise option and there is a foolish option. In foolish option, what is it? No faith in God. किसने देखा है? भगवान को किसने देखा है? तो why should I believe in it? Eat, drink and be merry. आज का देख लो. Don't worry about anything else. Forget the temporary nature of this world. Enjoy sinfully, not caring for future. Now, even in this life, we see any of our friends who didn't study well, didn't live that good a life, or there are examples like that. So we can see that good action leads to good future. And then we see in the train, one person leaves, second person leaves, and someday we have to get down also, right? So, are our great grandparents alive today? For some of us, even grandparents are not alive. People of my age, some of my friends, their parents are not alive. So we see that death is everywhere. Agree? Ahani ahani bhutani gachantiha yamadev. Sheshah stavaram ichanti. Kim ascharyam ataha param. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment, but a foolish living being nonetheless thinks oneself deathless and does not prepare for death. This is the most wonderful thing in the world. We sing this in the Vanu Parva 313-116. Pandavas are going in the jungle and they feel thirsty. So Dharmaraj says, oh, Nakula Sahadeva, can you go and get some water for me? And they don't come back. Then he sends Bhima, Arjuna, nobody comes back. Then Dharmaraj himself comes to see all his 4 brothers are dead next to a body of water. And he hears a sound. The sound says, I am the Yaksha. I own this Sarovara, the body of water. And my condition is you have to answer my questions before you drink my water. If not, I'll kill you. And your brothers refused to answer my question. They said, we'll just drink water and go. Who are you? So I killed them. Dharmaraj, would you like to answer the questions first? Or would you like to also die? And Dharmaraj says, yeah, okay, what are your questions? So his first question was, what is the most surprising thing in this world? And the answer is in front of you. Most surprising thing is, every moment people are dying and we live like we are going to live forever. We don't have to worry about it. But what is the reality of life? Death is an examination. Life is a preparation. And at least our college exams are on a date. We know when they're coming. But the exam of death can come any moment. Any moment. We're going in a car, something happens. Anything can happen, right? The flight that took on in Ahmedabad landed in a few seconds. And no chance given. There was no question paper given saying that now you need to answer these questions. Death is coming. No, just death comes. So death is that exam that we have to face anytime. So what happens? Have you seen goats? If they have green grass to eat, they will not worry that my friend who was eating grass with me yesterday is hanging upside down today. They don't think. And that is the goat mentality. Smart person will say, this friend is gone. Second friend is gone. Maybe I am also in the queue. I need to do something. And that I want to do something about the problems of life gets us out of the goat mentality, brings us to the human mentality. So, okay, I learned I'm not this body, I'm Atma. Awesome. And Atma by default is Sat Chit Ananda. Naturally happy, naturally well placed. But in the bodily format, I'm suffering. We saw the types of sufferings also. I also learned that there is a higher being. There must be God. Here, if this place, if the projector is not working, electricity is not working, water and air is leaking, first question we are going to say, दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई? काहे को दुनिया बनाई? Who made this world? Who architected this building in such a wrong way? It is not even maintained properly. I need to question somebody. I need to ask somebody. मेरे सवालों का जवाब दो, है ना? So, if God does exist, we should be asking that question. Why this world is like this? दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई? And God has given those answers in the scriptures that we are supposed to read and understand together. And we are going to go through that journey together. Okay? So material problems, spiritual solutions. That means, if 4 kids are fighting, can they solve the problem themselves? The parent has to solve the problem, right? Jagada mat karo. Like that. If the problems are seen to be at a material level, they cannot be solved at a material level only. It can be made little better. We need a higher solution. We need to hit it at a spiritual level to control the material problems. And what is it? What is the goal of life? You are the soul. Your body is just like a shirt. As a person puts on new dresses, giving up the old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. It's absolutely like a changing the shirt. Now, some people will cry even when giving up a shirt, actually. Purana shirt ho gaya, arey, chodo, donate it, do something. Nah, I like it. I got it as a gift on my 21st birthday. So we're attached to clothes also. What about body? We are even more attached. No, this is me only. And days like yesterday, when I went to the ICU and when I'm seeing that person, like counting his last breaths, was a realization that it's like yesterday, while coming back, I was talking to my friend who is also a devotee. I said, we may carry a weapon all the time, thinking that one day I see the thief and I'll use it, right? But there is no value for that weapon unless you see a thief. Like that, the spiritual knowledge, unless you see death in your eyes, like happening very close by, you don't feel the value for it. Like, it's there, I'll get better slowly. But the soul leaves the gross body behind and is taken to another womb based on the quality of the desires stored in one's subtle body at the point of death. Yes, whatever is our desire at the point of death, that is our next life. If I am attracted to a woman, my next life is a woman. If I'm attracted to a dog, my next life is a dog. If I'm attracted to God, I can go back to spiritual world. So it is very, very simple. The 101 of Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma and Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is, whatever is my thought at the point of death, that is my next life. But because we do not know when the death comes, every moment our thought should be what our future is. So that means if we are God conscious all the time, we will go back to the spiritual world. No more death, no more birth, no more disease, no more problems of life. Yes? This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. I did not cook it at home. So you can go from one vehicle to another, just like that we can go from one body to another. How seriously we can take the car? Oh, my car, this car, I have to maintain this car only. It's becoming antique. No, I want to maintain this car only. The spirit soul moves from one body to another. What is the basis? How do you decide somebody gets this type of body and somebody gets this type of body? Because even at a body level, there are lots of variations, and not just the body, the karma, the wealth, the fame, the strength, connections, where you are born, all of that, who decides? How do they decide? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, tejanti ante kalevaram, tam tam evaiti kauteya sadatat bhava Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Again, if you don't trust me, Bhagavad Gita 8.6, please go and check. Even if you trust me, please go and check. Right? Whatever state of being one remembers when one quits one's body, O son of Kunti, that state one will attain without fail. That means if we are thinking of good things, our future is bound to be good. That we have to know.
One question here. What if somebody suddenly die and doesn't get chance to think that movement?
The thing is, how the death happens is, have you seen Terminator 2 movie? Okay. Whole life that we lived runs like a movie in front of our eyes. Whole life. And the scene stops at the most prominent scene in our life. If that most prominent scene was a happy scene, your future is better. If the most prominent scene in your life is a trauma, bad ending. So the game of life is to live our life in such a way that we heal out of the traumas, we prevent the traumas. If not, we heal out of traumas by using spiritual solutions. And we contemplate and enjoy the positive thinking life where we have positive things to remember no matter how suddenly we die. Some people die in a flash, but then everybody dies in a flash, no matter how they die. Some people may live in a coma for 6 months, but still on moment, death is only one moment only. So all the memories come back which are prominent. And amongst that, the most prominent memory is our next life. And that happens without fail, no doubt. So what type of karma we enjoy? Some are instant, yes, and some are delayed. So delayed is like diseases coming later, right? Or very, very old things coming out. So we are at the junction. Do we want to choose good karma or bad karma? That is a choice we make every day, every moment, actually. And based on that, our future is decided. Now, what are problems as per Bhagavad Gita, right? Eating some other flesh is a problem because that's a life that we're taking away. And there's a pain in the process. And if you look at these amazing diseases which are pandemic type that could kill the whole humanity, are actually coming from, these are animal flesh related diseases. If whole humanity was vegetarian, we should not see this disease coming through. And it's against our original nature to be nice. Even babies understand. So should we also understand?
Have you asked yourself, how have I contributed to starting this pandemic? Maybe not, and most likely you'll answer me, I didn't start it. But science says that you may have. And here's how. The fact is that this virus has come from beast to man. Because of rampant meat consumption, humans are in too close proximity to animals. And what viruses animals have, humans become susceptible to. COVID-19 is connected to bats, or pangolin. It has just started and has already killed over 75,000 globally. Who knows what the final toll will be? Ebola started in 2014. It's connected to bats and primates and has killed 11,000 today. H1N1, swine flu, 600,000. SARS, that also started in a wet market and it killed 1,000. And of course AIDS, linked to hunting monkeys, 32 million today. All these viruses and others like bird flu, experts consider to be triggers that can easily fire off world pandemics.
This is our new reality right now.
That by eating animals, by hunting them, we come in contact with their viruses. 60% of known infectious diseases in humans are transmitted from animals. That means that it's not just meat eaters who get a virus, but anyone they contact. So, now with COVID-19, we are seeing how easily humans transmit those viruses at who knows what price to humanity. Now you may not believe this pandemic is due to the wrath of God or the law of karma, but you cannot deny a fact of science that meat eating risks pandemics. The Chinese government has already suggested citizens cut back their meat consumption. My friend, like me, you are probably in lockdown. You and I have adjusted our lives to save our lives and the lives of others. Now I'm asking you to consider making another adjustment, a lifelong adjustment. Please stop eating meat. And no doubt, non-vegetarians will argue that they have a right to eat what they please. But I and the 500 million vegetarians and vegans of the world reply, not when your right to meat jeopardizes my right to life.
He's a senior ISKCON in Europe who took lead on creating a very natural lifestyle. So if you go to Hungary, he has created a farm community, all local people, Hungarians. They live on the farm, they grow crops, they use bullock carts and cows and ahimsa milk. They have their little college, they educate their children, they have a beautiful temple, they take care of the temple. So they are showing a model way of life. No Indians, okay? All Hungarians. They are living a model way of life based on Bhagavad Gita. It's so inspiring. You go to Radhadesh. Radhadesh is in Belgium. Same thing again. Off the grid, Belgian people are living there in a castle. They bought a castle. They're living off the grid, farming and temple, cows, and living a happy life. So there are communities after communities in Australia, in Brazil. Here also we're trying. So communities after communities show that as a human beings, to be happy, you don't need a lot. You need little milk, little grains, and a temple to worship. Life is not very complicated. We make it complicated.
Have you asked yourself how?
So intoxication. So we are talking about 4 problems of life, right? One is meat eating. The second is intoxication. Alcohol. And this is one type. Then there are drugs and so many things, tobacco. So many deaths are connected to that, right? Gambling. Anybody is habitual gambler over here? Thank God. I was driving in Lake Tahoe to Sacramento in California, year 2003, and driving with my parents actually. They came for my daughter's birth. And while driving back, I showed her a huge building and I told my mom, "Mom, you want to go there? It's a casino." My mom says, "What is it?" "Casino ticket. Kya hai andar?" "Gambling." There was silence in the car for some time. Then my mom spoke. "Take a vow today that you will not go into that building again." I said, "Kyun bol diya?" Because I used to take like $20, and whatever happens in $20, that is a life, right? I would not go like unlimited cash or anything. But I never thought it is a problem. Just playing at minute level, I never thought it is a problem. My mom told me it is a problem. So later on in Bhagavad Gita, years after, like, oh, gambling is the problem. Why? Because people destroy their lives in the hope of winning. That once you learn Bhagavad Gita, now if you have to go to Las Vegas because of some technology conferences and all that, do me a favor. Walk through the floor of casino and try to read the faces of people who are playing the casino. In movies, they may show some glamorous things, but watch it on the ground. You'll see most hopeless life over there. People who have given up life hopes are going over there hoping that this one coin will make me rich. This one coin will make me rich. And they are really, really down in terms of their looks, their aura, their happiness on their face. They're not happy people. It is a wrong thing to assume that by going to Las Vegas, I'm going to become happy. Not true. Gambling does not make you rich. If gambling made you rich, how could the people who organize the gambling, the casinos, why they are having such a big buildings? They should be on the road, right? But they game it in such a way that you feel like you are winning. They will let you win also sometimes, but end of it you have to lose. That is important. So better to not get into it. And illicit sex, Valentine's Day. What is Valentine's Day? Saint Valentine. Nowadays they don't say Saint Valentine's Day. It is only Valentine's Day. And Valentine is like romance connected, correct? What is the reality? The reality is just a few hundred years after Jesus Christ, there was this Saint Valentine in Rome. And he was so much doing well for the society that the king didn't like it. And the king basically slaughtered him. And so basically in love for people, in the service, spiritual services, Saint Valentine gave his life. That's what we are supposed to remember on the Saint Valentine's Day. Today, billions of greeting cards and roses and the flower prices go up, and it's becoming just a romance day. That too at a physical level. It is not at a spiritual level. And that is where we are going to learn down the line what is real Valentine's Day, how to celebrate that. We will learn that as per Bhagavad Gita. But at least if we are not staying within the family life and we are going outside the family life, we are creating lots of issues in the society, in our life also, in the society also. It is not good for anyone. And that is why Bhagavad Gita says, please avoid. Then what are we supposed to do? Austerity, sacrifice, knowledge, and association of saintly people. This is natural expectation. If we really want to go back to the spiritual world, these are the things. Adavashraddha. Adavashraddha means little faith. That brings us here. Adavashraddha, sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha means company of spiritual people. Adavashraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya means now we are talking about scriptures. Whether it is a song or a dance or a music or reading the books or katha, story, any activity connected to God, right? Adavashraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, that leads to anartha nivrutti. Anartha nivrutti means whatever is bad in my heart, it will evaporate. Anartha nivrutti. When anartha nivrutti happens, next thing is you develop taste. So spiritual life mein maza aata hai. Like I enjoy giving these classes, right? If not, who forces me to come here? This is my probably 35th batch. So you enjoy. Why I enjoy? Because I see the lives transformed in front of my eyes. and they are living a different life, they are living happier life. I enjoy that. So that drives me. So ruchi. Then you get nishtha. Nishtha means firm faith. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. That leads us to the bhava and prema stages. So bhakti is a science. It works like a clock. It is predictable. There is an input, there is a process, there is an output. More predictable than Big Bang Theory. Austerity, we are supposed to follow certain rules, refrain from certain things. If we don't do any austerity, we cannot live happy. Without Bhagavad Gita also, people in life, if they don't follow austerity, right, they will not be happy. Sacrifice, we are supposed to part with something. It could be our time, it could be our money, it could be our attention. We are supposed to part with something. Knowledge, we are supposed to learn, and we are supposed to be in the company of good people. Then, if we go back to the spiritual world, no more birth, death, old age, and disease. And this is the formula. A, B, C, D, E. A for association, B for books, C for chanting, D for diet, and E for engagement. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Bhagavad Gita 18.15, if you don't trust me. They do not come back. That is the most important thing. Okay, summary right here. So I will ask you your reflections now. So stop sharing. Okay, awesome. Nikita Mataji, do you want to go first? Do you want to say something? Okay, so we'll go in the room.
I think I have some bad network. I'll be breaking.
Oh, I can. Okay. Now, question for you. Do you want to do reflections like first, or should we go get the prasadam and then do reflections? Second option, raise your hand if second option. All right, let's go get prasadam. Continue here and then we keep talking the reflection. Let me check that it is active. Yes, it is. Let's go and get it.
Son, where's this spoon? Go get the spoon. Get my spoon. And you can speak.
Well, I don't need it.
Ah. Watson, you are always learning.
Well, okay. I'll then go to this photo.
Yeah, this is the session after this. So after this, there is a game speech.
Very good, very good, very good.
My kicks are now involved. Starting reflections. Okay, so while eating, you can tell me what are your reflections from today? What did you learn? So we'll start at the back. We'll start with Mr. Dev. आज काय आवडलं? English मध्ये.
Defining it, like defining the phrase about the problems, the real problem, and according to what currently I'm going through, where it's really matters, the things which I think matter, yeah, I think like Sachin are that that's what I was trying to say. Like sometimes we know, but it's really hard to like things in the little routine side. Yeah, it's really that.
Very nice. Thank you. Here you will go from knowing concept to commitment, conviction, concept, conviction, commitment. So you'll get so much of faith that you will change your game of life.
That's all the time. I just came from a teacher. I what I did.
Very nice.
Regular day.
Thank you for sharing. Very nice. And every time you speak, please announce your first name loudly so that we all remember names. What's your name? Manoj Dev. You, sir? Yes. What is your reflection from today? What did you like? What will you take home?
Actually, how to live life. Basically, what are the sins and what are the way how you can lead a more purposeful life. What has struck me with today is that the ultimate purpose of life is to remember that you have to prepare for the next one.
Okay.
That and that that can happen anytime. And so if you live life keeping good thoughts in your mind, perhaps you will be prepared well for the next one. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Rajat. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Apuraj.
Yeah. I think it continue to focus on the soul and look more about and what can do best for the soul rather than the body.
Okay. Very nice. How about you, sir?
So my name is Nikhil. So I think the main purpose in both paths like works from birth until death. We all were asked like our problem, or what we feel is the problem, but then when we saw, the way you portrayed it, that was pretty different and not like how many of us had thought. So that was something different and learning in life that before. At the end of the day, yeah, so a lot of things like that. And it was interesting and very interesting session. Something I'll take away is that focus of life and what are the core things we should do.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Viraj, and I really like today's session. Like, every session I like more because it's more practical. Today it was more problems, and I specifically took out of it like every thought and every conscious move that we do is essentially building towards our next life. But we don't want to just keep adding burden related things to it, like, but more good stuff, essentially. Like every conscious decision needs to be better than the last one. And the four simple things that we saw. So yeah, minimize it as much as possible every move of my life, and then at the end of the day, when my life ends, which is obviously not in my hands, I think like a best possible outcome is.
Very nice. Thank you, Viraj.
Yeah, hi, my name is Teja. I think most important takeaway for me from this was that last slide, like A, B, C, D, E formula that was mentioned. So basically, we went from understanding the real problems in life and how the spirituality is the right solution. Like leading a spiritual life is the way to overcome the problem. And I think as people have summarized, like keeping the good thoughts in mind, like when you reflect back on your life at the time of death, the kind of memory that you are left with, the most prominent memory that you have, decides like what our next life is. So understanding that and keeping that in mind and being prepared for that is what I think.
Very nice. Say your first name again.
Teja.
Teja, yes.
Hi, my name is Manasa. So today I think we learned about the four biggest problems in life, which is no one can avoid. and how to go about it. So I think basically the goal of life is to not have kind of this kind of suffering, because birth and everything is kind of suffering. So for that, just to achieve that, like we can follow like the good things like vegetarianism and some things, and to avoid sinful things like alcohol, and those kind of things will move us closer to our goal. So that's what I planned.
Very nice. Thank you.
My name is Kavita. So,
Microphone point of
according to Bhagavad Gita, there will be four problems in our life, like birth, disease, old age, and death. So doesn't matter how rich you are going to face all four. So if like if you're not going to suffer more, like uh, if you want to come out from this smoothly, you have to follow the spiritual. You should focus on spirituality. It will help you to get out from all.
Very nice, someone. Nice. Yes, beta.
My name is Tanvi, and what I learned today is that like the real definition of problems is like it is common among everyone, every single person living on it. Like money, wealth, or health, or like any problems that everybody faces.
Very nice. Please give her a big hand. Can you imagine it? A child this young sits in the class, steady, stable, pays attention, asks questions, and gives reflections. We are very proud of you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Lokesh, and my key takeaways are like first is like there are unavoidable problems, and it like everybody is having that problem, like death, um, old age, birth, and the disease. These are the four primary problems. And to solution of this is it is in Vedic, doing our spirituality. The other thing is um, austerity and the bhakti. These are the two things with which we can at least minimize this problem, and we can go into the when we these are the things where we are getting it prepared for the next life. And if something is going good, then we don't have to take the birth in the next life. Everything would be normal then.
If we remember God at the point of death, we go back to God. If we remember our Tommy dog, we go back to the dog life.
Yeah.
You see the dogs, they are very playful in the family. They're like long lost relatives. There is a lot of good exchange going on. But we need to break anything at a body level and focus on spirit level. So that's who I am. Right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, like everyone else, we started with the four problems of the life,
yes,
which is common to almost everyone who ever take birth in this world. And for me, the takeaway is to not involve in the sinful stuff and focus more towards the Vedic knowledge and follow that.
Very nice. So next time our friends call us for a beer party, what do you say?
We'll take little.
Very nice. So with that, we'll close today's session and we'll meet for the next session. Obviously, I'll also eat with you and you can ask me more questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna. You want to say something? What is your reflection?
Thank you for Mataji. She brought the cake. And
oh, wow.
Everybody.
If you like the cake, please give a big hand. Thank you.